Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Motivational Monday. A couple minutes early. I want to go ahead and get started because I know a lot of people are probably on their lunch break or working right now. So I know a lot of people are going to be watching the replay on this one. Here a little bit earlier than I normally am. It's usually 6:55, but I'm here just a little bit earlier. Very busy this evening. Speaking it busy, that's why I'm here a little bit later. But today we're going to be discussing 7 books to read in 2019. And if you're a leader, then you're a reader. And if you're a reader, you're a leader. So thanks for joining. Turn this down just a little bit. I like listening to Chill Hop on YouTube. It gets my mind going. I was actually going to come into this video with the Reading Rainbow theme song, but I was like, that's kind of corny, so I didn't do it. But I don't know, if you were little and you watched Reading Rainbow, I think LeVar Burton, I think they were on to something because it's in a book. Just take a look. But really, they were on something. And Reading Rainbow still applies in adulthood. So that is why we are here. So I'm not going to take too much of your time because, again, it is midday. I know people are rushing midday. So if you're watching right now and it's later, welcome to the replay. All right. So, again, if you're joining as well, or even if it's the replay, I want you to drop in the comments some books that you have read or that you are reading that you think that we need to read. So I'm going to start off with some of the ones that are my personal favorites. And I know a lot of my circle has probably already read a lot of these books. So these are for the people that are kind of trying to get jump started, get going, new entrepreneurs, people that just need a little bit of motivation. That's why we're here. It's Motivational Monday. So let's go ahead and get started. So number 1 for me, and I don't have all of them with me. Some of these are in my storage unit. I've already read them, and I haven't really unpacked all my storage unit. So this is one of the books that is there. But number 1 is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this book is probably the number 1 success book, number 1 self-help book. And the funny thing about it is it was written in 1937. It is now 2019, and anyone will tell you that this is a must-read or they've read it several times. And a lot of the books I'm going to talk about today, you probably will read several times or pick back up. But basically, this book is a think rich, like what it says, Think and Grow Rich, basically, because thoughts are things, and this book helps you think yourself rich in a way. It's the simplest way I can put it. It's a change your mind book. And this book actually, once your mind is made up and you can change your thinking, you can actually inherit wealth. Now, the thing about this is, in this book, it kind of breaks down riches. Now, a lot of people think when you say riches that it's actually like money. It's not always money. It can be happiness in life. It can be healthy relationships. It can be money, or it can be business success. There's a whole lot of things it could be, and this book actually breaks that down for you. And, just think yourself rich. Thoughts are things. All right, so moving on to the next one. Number 2. Number 2 is actually a 2 for 1. You like that playing words? So it is a 2 for 1. Where is my audio? There's my audio. So this one, Who Moved My Cheese, and the sequel. All right, so Who Moved My Cheese was actually written, it's by Spencer Johnson, and it was actually written published in 1998. I'm sorry, I already gave away the next tip. 1998. Now, this book is very, 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 very cute. Now, it's like a 1-hour read. The audiobook's probably about a 45-minute listen, so there's no excuse to why you cannot read this book. It's very, very simple. You can sit down on a Saturday and be done with it. But there's 4 characters in this book. Notice it says cheese. So it is about 4 mice, or rats, whatever you want to call it, and they're in the rat race. And the rat race is basically life. Whether it's life or business, they're stuck in this rat race, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. So this talks about basically change. Now, in this book, they're searching for what makes them happy, what makes them sufficient. And so with that being said, it's basically a parable. Now, everybody gets out but one mouse. And that one mouse is they're trying to think differently and get out, but that one mouse that gets stuck is in the sequel. I don't know if a lot of people know there's a sequel. Like, I didn't know it first, but this sequel was actually released last year or published in 2018. Now, this is about that one that got stuck. Now, he's stuck in this, he's still in the rat race, and he's trying to figure out, how did I get stuck and nobody else got stuck? So basically, he's looking at his friends like, oh, they're successful. What didn't I do right? So he's actually in this maze with another person that has a different, well, another rat, I'm sorry, that has a different like mindset, and they're kind of motivating him and getting him to change his perception, and that's what happens. So he starts to change his belief level. So this book actually teaches you how to expect for change to happen, how to accept that the changes have happened, and to adapt to changing. Now, when you adapt to change, you have to change quickly if you're going to be successful. And then you got to enjoy the change, but then you have to change again. And it's always going to be a cycle. So this book helps you get in that belief level of that. And again, you can, even though it's about rats, it doesn't matter. You can apply this to absolutely anything. And you know, once you get the concept of this book, when it comes to life and business or life and work, you know, you're going to have a lot less stress. So it's about the power to believe, how to change your belief level, and what the possibilities are going to be once you reach that. So let's move on to number 3. I don't have this one as well. This one's powerful, y'all. I consider this more a textbook. It is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I'm looking down at my notes because I'm trying to keep myself aligned because I like to talk. So excuse me for looking up and down. Now, this basically is talking about how the world is based on your own perception, and that's how the world operates. So what this book actually changes you, what this book actually teaches you is you have to change. Now, in order for you to change yourself, you have to change your perception to be successful. Now, this is about I say about a 450-page book, maybe about 20 or 30 pages less. But this is a big book. That's why I call it a textbook. This is a book that you're going to have to come back to a lot of times and study, but it's never going to be out of style. This book is very, very, very important. And it goes over, you know, attitude, confidence, belief level again. And, you know, it's talking about how success is totally up to you, whether you're going to be successful or not. Now, a lot of these concepts I'm going to say over and over again because they all relate to each other. So that's that. So let's move on to number 4. I do have this one with me. The Magic of Thinking Big. Now, you see this was a library book, and there you go, you can see it on reverse. I got this from a thrift store. It was like 25 cents. Now, self-help books can get expensive, but trust me, it is totally worth the investment. I had a colleague or a business partner that was like, books pay you. I didn't get to watch all of her live, but she's absolutely right. Books do pay you. These investments pay you back, and these are lifetime investments, and it's cool. But always look at thrift stores, dig through the books, and sometimes there's a self-help section. Always go to that section because you can find a lot of stuff. So anyway, so the magic of thinking big. You know, people are always telling you to dream big, but you got to think big too. Those are 2 totally separate things. I won't get in depth with that. But this book is actually a Believe in Me book, or a Believe in You book, and it teaches you more about belief level. You know, belief level is going to be a recurrent thing here, but no matter what your life goals are, you can absolutely achieve them, and this book gives you tips on how to achieve them. You know, before I was saying that thoughts are things, they all intertwine together. They're all connected. So grab this book. This is another one you'll pick up over and over and over again. All right, let me move that. I got a book. I have a desk full of books, y'all. Like, yeah, anyway. So, number 5. Actually, no. Number 4. Yeah. I don't know what number we're on. We're just going to move on. Okay, Soar. I lost track, y'all. Soar. This book. I got this from Sam's Club, but this book right here is dope. If you have, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business off the ground, you see this says build a vision from the ground up, you got to get this book. Now, the only book that I highlight and write in is my Bible, but this is, I guess, like a secondary Bible because it has all types of notes in it. This is a business plan in a spiritual form in a book. It's dope. It lays out a checklist of what you have to do. And he wrote this book because he watched his dad. His dad was very successful, but he watched his dad not be where he needed to be because he didn't have a business plan. So, you know, in the very beginning, he's talking about North Carolina and how we were first in flight. So, whoop, whoop, to North Carolina. But that's it. It's about a business plan, and this teaches you the tools. All right, which one didn't I do? Let's see here. Did that one. All right, so let's move on to I think we're on number 6, y'all. Number 6, I am still reading this book. This is what I'm currently reading because I was going to talk about what I'm currently reading. And it's this book right here, The Seat of the Soul. This book is powerful. I'm only a couple of chapters in, but already I know this is going to be a life changer. Now, I found this book because one day I was cooking and I actually picked up my computer, took it in the kitchen, sat it down on the counter, and I was like, I'm going to listen to something because I had a lot of cooking to do. I'm going to listen to something, and it was actually Oprah's life class, and she talked about this book. She was actually giving a speech at a college graduation, and she said this book changed her life. So I was like, well, if this book changed Oprah's life, then I need to read it because she's one of my, she's somebody I look up to because I want to be a philanthropist one day. But this book right here, not only did it change Oprah's life, it changed Maya Angelou's life. Now, the late Maya Angelou actually said that in the foreword, and you'll read it, that she has had two copies of this book. One was on her dining room table in plastic, and the other one was on her bedside table. And she read this book over 10 times. It was actually one of the books that inspired her to write Still I Rise. That's huge. So basically what this book breaks down to, it teaches you about power, the difference between external power, authentic power, how personality and the soul are two totally different things. It's going to go over trust, again, power, psychology, intention, relationships, all that stuff. So I'm very, very excited to read the rest of this book. Who knows, maybe one day we can start a book club or something. I'll get with some of my gold friends and we'll start a book club. So again, if you're just now joining, I see a couple of people have hopped on. Make sure that you drop in the comments a book that you're reading or a book that you suggest that the viewers are reading, even if you're just joining on the replay. All right, so that's that. So number 7, very, very important book you have to have to succeed in life, in your spiritual life, in life in general. The Bible. Yes, that's the book for me. Y'all remember that? I was in children's church. I couldn't stay in children's church, but we always had to get up at the front and do the Easter plays or whatever, recite stuff. Well, we always had to read. We always had to sing the Bible song, and it's the book for me, y'all. It gets me through so much. And I always try to narrow down my favorite scripture, and I can't. That's why I'm saying, like, you have to read the book. You have to have that book in your possession because it's powerful. Like, I can say that my first 2 favorite scriptures, Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. I carry that with me every day, even when things are hard. And the second one is actually Jeremiah 29:11. Now, that actually says, and it may be, in my terms, but it actually says, for I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but to give you hope in a future. So I always go back to those 2 because when I get discouraged or I think that I can't make it, those 2 scriptures snap me back to life because God already knew my purpose. He already knew why he put me here, and I can't doubt or not trust the process. My friend always says trust the process. My mentors always say trust the process, and you have to trust God. Now, what the Bible does for you, it gives you tips on, relationships. It gives you tips on life, business. It's a guideline book, point blank period. It is a business plan book. Everything is in the pages of that book. It's not just stories. And when you say he knows the plans, it gives you the plan, the action steps, and how you need to govern yourself accordingly to get his promises. Because, at the end of the day, life here is meaningless. We're here for a purpose, but while we're here, we might as well be successful. We might as well, have fun, enjoy his blessings that he has here for us until we get our greater blessings. So that's why I love the Bible. So again, I didn't want to have this one too long. I am going to drop in the comments the link for The Seat of the Soul, since that is what I'm reading right now. And disclaimer, I am an Amazon affiliate, so that's why I always drop a link. I get pennies, y'all, if you actually buy from me on the link. So I just put that disclaimer out there so you know. But I can tell you, this book is going to change your mind. And it even has a study guide in the back, which you're going to need because it needs to be broken down. But once you get it, you have these epiphany moments. So again, so that's it. We're out of here for the most part, but I just want you to think about this, that leaders are readers. There is a quote, and I talked about it in my last live, show me the readers and I'll show you who changes the world. It's true, y'all. You got to think about slavery. Like, why was slavery such a threat? why when we were enslaved and they were so worried about us reading, it's because life change and elevation are in the pages of a book. It's not just knowledge. It is life change, just life change and elevation in those books. And that's what, you know, I'm not trying to get into that, but that's what the threat is. So, you know, a lot of times they say, you know, hide it in, you know, if you have something to hide, put it in a book, because they know people aren't going to pick up the book. But the people that have picked up the books are successful. So my thing is this: pick up the books, learn from the greats, and then one day you're going to write your own story. You never know what story is going to change your life. Because you see, I'm telling you to read books, and these books are changing lives. Well, your story and your purpose can change lives as well. So it's very important that we do this. You know, there's power. So all you got to do is flip the pages, y'all. Flip the pages, pick up the pen, and write your own story. Shout out to Kelly Lindsay, because she really inspired me to say that, because she said it. She was like, she's still writing her story. But it's very important that we write our stories and we share it with the world as well. Next Monday, I'm going to wrap this up. Next Monday, we are talking about vision boards. I'm going to drop that flyer in the comments as well. You'll see it again on She Wolf Saturday. For those that didn't tune in, I'll post it again. I am going to do a virtual vision board party very soon, because we are wrapping up the first quarter, which is January, February, and March of the year. The first quarter. And it's very important that if you don't have your goals in line by now, it's a problem. So we're going to get together. We're going to listen to some music and do a virtual vision board party through Zoom. If you don't know how to use Zoom, we will have instructions on how to do that. I'm going to get with some of my goal friends, and we're going to get that together very, very soon. But yeah, we're going to get our goals in line and get them hung up and make them come into fruition, okay? So basically, I'm out of here, and I just want y'all to, you know, stay motivated, keep your goals in line, get your goal friends, all that good stuff, get your ride or die partner, all those things that I've been talking about on all my videos. I want you to remember all that. Now, it's one thing to read these books and not apply it, but it's one thing to actually apply these things. So if you find yourself tripping in life and you've read some of these books, you need to put them back up, because all you did was read them. You didn't apply them. And I'm going to do the same thing, because even talking to you right now, there are a lot of things that I didn't quite grasp yet. I just read them. But you always have to pick these books back up and apply what you learned. So I'm out of here. Remember that God put you here on purpose to serve a purpose. So act in your purpose and give him his glory. Remember, you've already been given permission to have ambition without limits. I will see y'all next Monday. Peace.